Authorities say at least 15 police officers and several civilians are dead after gunmen launched simultaneous attacks in 2 cities in Russia's Dagestan region. They took place as the country was celebrating the Orthodox festival of Pentecost. Local officials say a synagogue, 2 Orthodox churches, and a police traffic post were targeted.
Intense gunfights broke out in seemingly coordinated attacks. Here in the Dagestan capital of Makhachkala, armed militants roamed the streets. Footage from eyewitnesses shows the gunmen shooting police officers. Several were killed.
The relevant services and law enforcement agencies worked quickly, but unfortunately there were losses. We offer our sincere condolences to the families and friends whose sons and brothers died.
The militants also targeted a church, later setting it on fire. Meanwhile, the city of Derbent, which is around 120 kilometres away, was also under attack. A synagogue was set alight and a priest was killed at an Orthodox church. While no one has claimed responsibility for the attacks, the Republic of Dagestan has been targeted by Islamic militants in the past. Russia's investigative committee has launched an investigation into what it called acts of terror.
Our correspondent Grzegorz Szymanowski is standing by in Riga as the Kremlin has banned DW from operating within Russia. What more can you tell us about these attacks?
Well, Claire, security forces have finished their operation on Monday morning, and we are receiving conflicting reports as to whether 5 or 6 attackers were killed by security forces in this operation. As we've heard, no group has claimed responsibility for this attack yet. The Russian daily RBK reported that all of the attackers were residents of Dagestan, and that several of them were listed with the Interior Ministry as having contacts to radical Islamist circles. Russian media are also reporting that among the attackers were 2 sons and the nephew of a Dagestani official from the United Russia Party. This is the governing party of Vladimir Putin. Now, this official, who was heading one of the districts in Dagestan, has stepped down overnight, and he was questioned by the police.
So information is still coming in. What have the authorities in Russia been saying?
Well, we haven't heard from the Kremlin or from Vladimir Putin yet. In a statement published on Monday morning, the governor of Dagestan has vaguely connected this attack to what he called the special military operation in Ukraine. He said the war has come to our door, and added that the authorities apparently know who is behind the attacks, but he didn't offer more details. So this is a vague response so far, and this somehow reminds of the reaction to the terrorist attack on a concert hall in Moscow in March, which was at the time claimed by the Islamic State group. Back then, the authorities were also framing the attacks in the context of the Ukraine war, somehow framing Ukraine for the attack without offering much proof to that. So we will be waiting for more responses from the Russian authorities.
Grzegorz, give us a bit of context here, if you can. Can you tell us more about Dagestan and the threat posed by militant groups there?
Well, Dagestan is a republic in the North Caucasus, and it has been hit with an Islamist insurgency in the 2000s. This was an insurgency which largely spilled over from the bordering Republic of Chechnya. Now, Chechnya, of course, experienced 2 brutal wars in the 1990s when Russia cracked down on separatists there, and so the Islamist networks were strong in Dagestan. We know of some militants who traveled from Dagestan to Syria to join the Islamic State group there. However, attacks in Dagestan have become fewer in the last years, and in 2017, Russian authorities even concluded this counterinsurgency operation in Dagestan as finished. So now this attack from yesterday, one of the deadliest in the North Caucasus in the last years, this will be a problem to security agencies in Russia, and we will be observing the situation further.
Thank you for your reporting. That is our DW correspondent, Grzegorz Szymanowski.